This video is for the Crypto Live. Ethereum briefly manages to surpass file $10 billion Bitcoin futures quantity. Within the final 30 days, Ether, ETH, worth decoupled from Bitcoin, BTC, to file a 67.5% achieve, whereas the main cryptocurrency worth has barely moved. Ether's all-time excessive of $3.605 on Might 5 was liable for driving the asset's open futures curiosity to $10 billion. This transfer raises some essential questions because the dominance of the Bitcoin derivatives markets seems to be in query in the intervening time. On Might 4, Ether's combination futures volumes outperformed Bitcoin for the primary time in the historical past. Coinalyze Quantity Knowledge exhibits that $2.6 billion of CME Bitcoin futures have been traded, together with $1.1 billion in CME Ether futures on Might 4. Nonetheless, Ether's combination volumes led by $87 billion versus Bitcoin's $81 billion. Some may argue that volumes aren't as related as open curiosity, which is a good evaluation. Open curiosity represents the overall variety of contracts at stake, no matter whether or not they have been traded on a selected date. In that regard, Bitcoin nonetheless has doubled the $10 billion Ether futures open curiosity. The chart above exhibits a mind-boggling 117% rise in Ether futures in 2 months. It is also value noting that the CME contracts reached an open curiosity of $460 million, a seven-fold enhance from March. Skyrocketing Ether futures quantity alerts rising dealer curiosity. To evaluate whether or not the market is projecting bullish, your premium should be analyzed. The premium measures the value hole between the costs of futures contracts and the common spot market. This indicator is usually often known as the bottom and may point out an annualized premium of 10% to 20%. The stablecoin lending charge is the principal cause behind this discrepancy, as futures contributors are withholding settlement by choosing spin-off contracts. The chart above exhibits that the Ether futures premium peaked at 45% in mid-April and has since normalized near 25%. This knowledge are very encouraging, as they point out that there isn't excessive optimism regardless of the value of Ether reaching consecutive all-time highs. Whereas some analysts will interpret this knowledge as a glass half full, others may say it represents an absence of conviction on the part of skilled merchants. No matter perspective, you will need to bear in mind the impression of the carry commerce, which negatively pushes the bottom indicator. Buyers searching for set revenue commerce will promote Ether futures contracts on the identical time they purchase Ether for money. There seems to be wholesome progress within the Ether futures markets no matter how the info is interpreted. As for an eventual Bitcoin open curiosity flip, this seems to be a great distance from taking place. In both manners, the overall rise in crypto derivatives is useful to the market. The views and opinions expressed listed below are solely these of the author and don't essentially mirror the views of Cointelegraph. Each funding and commerce motion includes threat. It is best to do your personal analysis when making a choice.